Capricorn, welcome to your monthly reading here on the Astroflower for October. Mad month, I think. I think the word for the month is called tolerance, or what you tolerate. Someone commented in, I think it was Scorpio, the other day, and yeah, and I think it runs true. It's basically, you get what you tolerate. That seems like a really good phrase. So, yes, we've got a couple of eclipses going on in this month as well. One on the 14th, which is a solar eclipse, full solar eclipse, and it is a special one in a way. You'll see that on Cymatic TV, our sister channel, which is a channel all about energy, linked in the description below, because it moves from the world root chakra and moves up one of my lines that I've got on my maps, and moves on to the sacrum. So it's all about bringing things back to fundamental desires, basically, within the vibration. But then on the other end, and this is where it all gets very bumpy. It's like a plane coming into land. October, it's like that. And so in the later stages of October, you've got the lunar eclipse as well, which goes from the crown chakra to the heart chakra. So it's coming in from both ends here, and it's the only thing it's compressing is the third eye, throat, the heart, and the solar plexus. Well, not even the heart really, because that's been touched by the lunar eclipse. So yeah, I think we're going to get a lot more fundamental things going on in this month here. One other thing, bit of housekeeping here. We do have a competition to win a free reading with myself, a half-hour reading, and this week it's going to be on the earth signs, and they're out on Thursday, your sign, on Thursday on the weeklies. So that's Thursday the 5th of October. You've got to leave a comment in the description below, just saying competition, and within the premiere of the video going up, so it's in the first 20 minutes of the video going up. And everyone will be pulled from the hat. Next week, the following week, we'll be doing water signs. Following week after that, fire signs and air signs, for the time of commenting and everything like that. There is a full descriptive on the community page, where you'll be able to see all the rules and regulations, basically. Yes, so let's, without further ado, bit of a waffle. Let's get on with your reading here, Capricorn. The one other thing I'd like to say is it has been highly emotional, the month of October, in everybody's sign. Let's see what we got for you. Tower. Blimey. Overall energy. Tower. As I say, it's been very emotional. It's highly charged October. It's a bumpy ride. And I think this is the general energy. So this is not your energy. So this is, in a way, it's happening around you rather than to you, if you know what I mean. And this is good for opportunities as well. This is the crown that's falling on this. It's the idea of certain things are, authority structures and stuff like that can come to an end during tower moments. It's the disbanding of old belief systems that doesn't really hold true, that sort of thing. It's a good clear out. It's an autumn clean rather than a spring clean. It's an autumn clean. That's what it seems to be. So I think this is more of what's going on around you rather than what's going on for you. This is on your relationship side. This is a karmic message on your relationship side. You get the Fool card. I think you do need to take a leap of faith here in love, and it's a kind of we'll see how it falls sort of scenario within your relationships. I think taking out a lot of the stress and strain and confrontation would be very beneficial to you here. Being very childlike, not childlike as in sort of like childlike. More sort of childlike in sort of enjoying and not having time to fuss and fight because you're too busy playing. And I think this is a leap of faith within your relationships here. We got week 1, week 2, week 3, week 4. This is on your relationship side, and that's on your financial side. We will be clarifying with the Light Seers cards later on. So yes, let's just see what's going on in your first week here. Seven of Swords. I would say 90% of the signs have had the Seven of Swords. Yes, I think it's a case of playing smart. And I think this is a case of, that's what I mean about anticipating any sort of confrontations, any sort of conflicts in the future. And I think in the first week you're playing smart to mitigate a lot of those sort of future conflicts, those future, conflicts within any relationships that are around you. And you're knowing how to, I think it feels like you're knowing how to put your foot on the accelerator and the brake here. It's like you're knowing when to accelerate out the corner or brake coming into the corner, into a situation, basically. And this is how you're playing smart within your relationships and mitigating a lot of the problems, basically. In the second week, this is where your love can shine. This is the eclipse one. Okay? This goes from the root chakra to the sacral chakra. This makes me so happy, Capricorn. Yes. In the second week from the... this is going from sort of like the 8th through to the 15th, 16th of October. This is where you've come from as well. And I think this is what's building up. It's been building up in you some time. And it's either you are offering your love or someone else is offering their love to you. But whatever it is, there's a definite, it's incredibly joyous. It's like feeling like that kid, you know, kind of going, oh, I like it. I like Susie Jane or whatever her name is, you know what I mean? It's that sort of feeling within you. Or sort of whoever sort of like triggers your fancy, basically. It's an absolute beautiful energy in the second week there, and I think it's because the solar eclipse does play to your benefits. Actually, it becomes a lot more practical. And Capricorn, you're pretty practical, and then you get the Knight of Swords. This is this coming together of a heart. And then it's like a calling to your mission that's just sort of saying, yeah, do it. And in the third week, you're off and running. You're either you're being the knight in shining armor, someone else is being the knight in shining armor, but you've got this clear direction within your relationship and you're off and running. And it looks really, you're off on a mission. And it's a mission of love, basically. And a whole new cycle for you. This is fantastic. A whole new cycle. I think this is where once you go off on this mission here, I think it's this sensation that I'm getting that's sort of saying, at last, this is it. This is where I want to be. This is what I want to experience. This is a whole new chapter in my life, sort of scenario. And the world gives you everything. You know, there's nothing that you are using at the moment that wasn't at one point dust in the ground. And so, or even part of you, So the world gives us everything. And this is a whole new cycle for you that's turning up. I think this tower moment that's happening all around you is almost bringing you to the fore, bringing you to the front of the queue of life. And making you stand out without you having to do anything. But in your relationships, there is this explosion of love that seems to be within you. On your financial side, this is on your karmic mission, on your job, your business, and your projects. Observation mode. That's what I get from here. You're ready to go on this journey. It's choosing the wave of reality that you wish to engage with. And I think this is, with this changing environment that is around you, I think this is a very wise call to sort of like do what you do and do what you do best, but at the same time, don't commit 100% in one direction until you're absolutely sure that this is the direction that you need to take. And I think you will get that. We'll clarify with the Light Seers card, but I would have thought the Light Seers card will give us something that's opposite. And I think there's a transition that's going on in this month here. Yeah, you're moving from disappointment in the first week it's maybe, it's almost like you're starting a car, right? In your business, in your job, in your projects. You're starting a car and it goes, and that's that Pluto energy. And I think I think you're really seeing the tail end of it now. And this, and then you'll go back and start the car and it goes, and it's off and running. For those of us who've still got petrol cars and diesel cars. But yeah, so I think this first week could have been almost sort of like a bit frustrating more than disappointing. In the second week, and this is to do with your eclipse, this is where the Ace of Cups comes in as well. This is why you're waiting and seeing. Now you're concentrating on the little detail of the bigger plan. You're getting down to your work. I think this is where you're now starting to sort of say, to get through this disappointment here, I've got to just put in the hours and put in the good, clean work in order to get things moving in a certain direction, which is good for you. So in the second week, this is where the practicality comes into play with the eclipse. I think you've got an opportunity to really grind out the things, and grinding it out when it's difficult. I don't know if you ever watch sport. When you're not playing well and you still manage to win, that's, you've got a good momentum going. And I think this is a case of that. And I think it's playing into your favour. This obviously comes from this. This is a case of being sure about where you're going. So I think you're now working on this sort of like working hard and getting down to the nitty gritty. And because you're working hard, that's almost bringing up healthy boundaries around you, which stops you from deviating or procrastinating too much in that, to keep you moving on. It's almost like it's like the carrot and the stick sort of scenario here that's just keeping you moving on, and that's what gives you those healthy boundaries, so you realise what works for you and what is not working for you. And I think this is going to affect more sort of work and that sort of thing around you more than anything else. But yes, and your tower moment could be this, that sensation or that realization of love. And it could even, it could be that you're already with someone and you get that realization of, yes, this is it, and this is where you go off on a mission. So after the nine of after the 9 of Wands, this is where you get the 8 of Wands. Yes, this is where there's a lot of communication. This is where a lot of success, a lot of rewards coming into your life. I think it's also a case of, this is another thing to be said about October, is turning negative into positive. And I think this is what you're doing by grinding it out during the second and third week of October. So grinding it through and grinding it out. I think you're generating, turning negative situations into positive situations. It's a little bit like when Buddha was sat at the tree sat up against the tree meditating, and people were firing, or he saw flaming arrows coming towards them. That's a little bit what this is. And you have this capacity to turn this communication into lotus flowers in your life. We'll see that now with the Light Seers cards that are coming out. Thank you very much for all the support you give to this channel. It's absolutely beautiful. Really do appreciate it. There's loads of ways you can support this channel. There's loads of links in the description below as well. Whatever you do, thanking you very much for being part of the Astroflower family, basically. Let's just see what's going on. Oh yeah, and don't forget about the competition as well on Thursday. Yes, go to the communities page, you'll get all the details on it. The tower, what's the tower doing? The overall energy here is making sure it works for you, and I think that's what we went through on that. It's also what's coming through on that. You've been playing smart and getting there, and now you're going on this mission. And I think as things crumble around us in the world, or change in the world around us, I think we get to a stage where we need to realize individually that within this system that we have, whatever which way you look at it, religious, financial, political, whatever you're looking at, in a form of governance. If it's not working for you, then you're not, the system is broken. And I think this is a realization that comes in here. And I think this is a realization for you that you've got to also put the work in order to make it work for you. And whatever you do, it seems to be turning a negative into positive in a really good way. But basically, because you come from that standpoint that, if it works for you, it can work for everybody. And sharing out that working. So basically, if you're running like a food truck, and at the beginning, when you open the food truck, you're taking the orders, you're doing the money, you're doing the accountants, you're cooking the meals, you're serving the meals, you're going to get the supplies, you're doing absolutely everything. And then when it starts working for you, then you get someone in to do the cooking and the serving. So this is how it's got to work for you, then therefore you can make it work for everybody else. And the moment you do that, and the more you make it work for everybody else in the future, because it's really working for you, the better you will be. And the stronger your company will be, and etc. So yeah, the Fool. Get the 7 of Wands. We've now got 2 7s down there on the relationship side. A realization, revelation, and this is what I was talking about of it being for you. This is what this is all about. Making it work for you. And I think it's letting go of everything in the past, allowing you to do that leap of faith will empower you enormously. What's this playing smart all about? Avoiding getting stuck. Avoiding not being true to your heart. I think in the first week, I think this is what you've been doing. It also helps you when you're stuck. It also helps you to have a good, clear look at yourself and to see what you want. But here is more of a case of the 7 of Swords, of you playing smart. So you're not stuck in a rut. And this is why, once you realise that, that's when your heart can really open. And that's when you can mix it and match with people. We got the World again. Oh, from the second week here, this is absolutely lovely. Look at that. That's absolutely gorgeous. This whole new cycle of love within you. And it's coming in so quickly. And it could be a Tower moment that does this. This could well be it. With the Knight of Swords, you get you. This is you, Capricorn. This is you. Not that you are a devil. Have to be careful with the devil, really, because a lot of people, they forget that this is just tarot. But this is you, and the devil is very intricate, really. The devil is very obsessive about what they're doing, about where they're going. And you could be obsessive about a person here because you're in love. That's what could it well be. But it's also there's finer details here. And I think this is where you're really getting into the details of a relationship between you and another person. And I think it's you that is the knight in shining armor here in some form or another. Let's see what's going on with the World. You've got the World twice out now on the table. You've got the 4 of Cups. Yeah, I think this ties into this card here. And I think this is where this new cycle is, you're getting out of a rut in an old cycle with regards to your relationships. Now you're really exploring and expanding that more than anything else. And the combining of this rut of the past is now opening up the new possibility. That Ace of Cups there. That's what that's all about. And I think with this new cycle, you're going to start orientating, towards your future and your beautiful cup energy, basically. It does bring you into your autumn period as well. So there is a lot of self-reflection coming up in November and December and January. But at the same time, I think you're deciding here, this is the cycle for me and I'm going ahead. Let's see what's going on your financial side. With the 3 of Wands, you get the 5 of Swords. Yeah, I think this is where, with your patience, as I said, observing the waves of reality around you, is going to realise that some things are not worth fighting for, because what you're going to win out of them doesn't necessarily bring you the results or bring you what you so desire, of the effort that you have to put in to fight for it. So you just got to make sure that, you know, this is where we come back to this as well, making sure it's working for you. I think this is the karmic message for you this week. Okay, 5 of Cups. Look at those 2 cups that are just behind him there. And then you've got the bridge, and then you've got the town. Yeah? That's where you need to be going. And I think in the first week, I think you realise that. And this is where you come into being absolutely in line with yourself. And this is that start of that new journey. And you're going to put in the hard work. You're going to grind it out. You're going to, it's like, okay, that car I was talking about that didn't start. Yeah? You may have to bump start it. And for those of you who don't know what bump starting is basically, you know, pushing the car, put it into second gear, and then taking your foot off the clutch in order to make it a boom, boom, and kick it over. And, you know, you can bump start cars, as it were. And I think you're bump starting your car. That's what it is. With the 8 of Pentacles, you get the Empress. Everything is possible with the Empress. There's so many rewards attached to it because she's in control of her emotions. She's giving birth to the world. You've already got the world twice on this table here. I think this is this new cycle, this new venture in your life. It could be an old venture that actually kicks off, but it also could be a very new venture to you, or taking your career path or your business in a very particular direction through your hard work, basically. And it's because you have control over your emotions. And I think that's what comes in there on your karmic mission. This is what you're learning this month with these healthy boundaries. With the healthy boundaries, you get the moon. Well, this is teeing up to that lunar eclipse, basically, connecting the crown and the heart. And this is with those healthy boundaries. And I think this progression, this steady progression that you're doing, I think here is opening up new situations or new emotional engagements within your career or your business and stuff like that you haven't really seen before, because you're coming into new territory of your career path, basically. And I think this is what it opens up a little bit. Gives you a little bit more of understanding of what makes you tick and what you enjoy and so forth. Let's see what's going on with the 8 of Wands. Did I say at the beginning, I said, you know, it's a month of 2 halves in a way. It's a month up and down. It's difficult to land it, and it's a bit floating. You come out of this absolutely beautiful with this amazing messages, communication. And it could be you, the way you're communicating your business, your job, your whatever you're doing in the material world, your projects, buying a property, whatever it is, because you've engaged in this turning of negative into positive, it is going to make you a bit of a star, Capricorn. And that doesn't necessarily mean a star on TV. That could be literally just a star in your office, a star in your business world, or within the world that is around you. They're recognizing that you've got good progression within your life and you've ground out the work, basically. Absolutely amazing, especially on the love front, Capricorn. So beautiful, so beautiful. So yes, thank you very much for being here. I really do appreciate it. Don't forget, you've got the competition coming out on Thursday on Earth signs for a free reading. Thank you very much for all your support. I hope you get the best out of these readings. In the meantime, don't forget, life should be fun, so please do enjoy.